Hi everyone, today we are going to finish French Revolution Class 9. So first when we come into the chapter, we can see that there is a event which occurred in 1789. So that event has become a significant event in the human history. It swept away existing politic institutions and it overthrew the French monarchy, and it aimed for legalization society and a responsible government. So it wants a society where there is a responsible government. So like that people started to they started to go to the Bastille. So like that it continued until the Napoleon Bonaparte's power started to rise. So the French society was divided into three estates: the clergy, nobility, and everyone else. Like in the clergy, there are people who work in the church. So these are also called as first estate, second estate, and third estate. And second in the second estate, there are kings, queens, nobles, and all those stuff. In the third estate, lawyers, doctors, and many men. So as the population grew, there was a lot of demand for food. So the food prices were the food prices were rising so much. The bread prices were so low. The bread prices were very increasing. I said low accidentally. They were very increasing, and there were so much gap between rich and poor, as poor did not get their wages, like money which they need to receive. They didn't get those money, and the challenge for survival became more. So what happened means the peasants all started to revolt, means fight for the taxes and food scarcity. Like, why do we only need to pay the taxes, and why there is no food available for us, and all those stuff. Finally, philosophers Rousseau and Montesquieu proposed few forms of government. So, what is a contribution? We'll know it in the next slide. So, when the outbreak of the revolution started on May 5th, 1789, Louis XVI was called for an assembly of Estates General to discuss proposals for the new tax, because these many people are revolting. They wanted someone to discuss the new proposals and all those stuff. Finally, the Estates General who was there, he was a political body consisting of representatives. He was from all three estates. Okay, like nobility, clergy, and uh, common people. So each estate had one vote. But the first and second estates, which had clergy and nobility, combined has 600 representatives, while third estate has 600 representatives. So like that, when the outbreak of revolution started, peasants, artisans, and women were excluded from the assembly. Like, no, you can't do it like that. So new taxes were approved by if the new taxes will only be only if the estate general approved, the new taxes will be proposed. It will be approved. So like that it happened. So finally comes our tennis court oath, like where the third estate representatives demanded that voting could be conducted by entire assembly, where each member would have one vote. So Louis XVI rejected all the ideas which have came. So finally on June 29, 1789, the representative gathered in the tennis court at the Versailles. Finally, they decided by themselves, the National Assembly, and vowed not to disperse until they have drafted a constitution. So they decided that nothing will happen. We will together will stand, and will not leave from here unless we make a constitution. Storming of Bastille. So when there was so much of chaotic stuff, like so much chaotic stuff going on in Paris in July 14th, 1789. So what happened means, the supplies were so, like, the supplies were less, the prices were more. So thousands of people gathered together. They decided we'll make a revolution, and they started to go into various kinds of government buildings for weapons. So they targeted Bastille, the